Hello, 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 beautiful people, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is day 7 of Vlogmas. And yeah, I've already been to school today. I already started my day and everything. I decided not to film because it's repetition and I'm not a morning person, considering I had to wake up at the crack of dawn to get dressed and stuff for today's class. But right now I'm gonna go into the kitchen. I want to make some food, so you guys will just follow me with my day. I'm not doing anything interesting today. Usually during the week I don't do much of anything other than like school, cooking and stuff. It's on the weekend is when I have a more exciting, interesting life. But yeah, I just wanted to say also thank you so much for everyone who's been watching, who's been coming up to me saying that they really like the vlog, saying that they're following. It means so much to know that there are people watching, that like you guys are enjoying this content. So yeah, thank you for supporting me. It means the world. Okay, so today we're going to be making some gizzards. I think gizzards are chicken liver, if I'm not wrong. I just think of that TikTok, but it's not PG. And let me tell you something. Anytime you see me cussing on this channel, or anybody cussing on this channel, you don't know the amount of work it takes to bleep it out. So let me not say what I wanted to say, but if you know what I'm talking about, that TikTok, you cheatily eating, the girls who get it, and the girls who don't. And if you don't get it, it's because you're not that girl. I'm just playing. I'm going to wash my rice. I'm going to peel some potatoes. I'm waiting for that to defrost. I think I'm going to do half fried and half sauteed, because I've made gizzards before, but I wasn't the biggest fan. But I think it's because I made it in haste, basically. Like I was just trying to make it for making it. Now I'm really exploring and experimenting with the gizzards. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Today I don't really have anything to talk about. There's nothing really on my mind, to be honest. Well, I mean, there are things on my mind. Like, I've just wondered like how hard life is right now for a lot of people, and I feel like a lot of the older generation don't understand how difficult our lives have become because of the things that they have done. Like right now in Kenya, there are a lot of kids banning schools, and every time I talk to someone who's older, they're like, yeah, these kids are menaces, they're this, they're that, and I'm like, there's a reason why these kids are banning schools, and it's mostly because of their treatment, and their treatment by admin and their treatment by actual teachers. Someone doesn't just wake up and decide to ban a school, And it's a testament to how important mental health is and how grueling the Kenyan school system is, that someone feels like they have to resort to that because either they're not being heard or the teachers are treating them badly, or it's one thing or another. But this kind of leads me to my main point, where it's like mental health has become such an integral part of the human existence, the human experience. And in order to have a good human experience, you need to have good mental health. But a lot of people don't care for it. A lot of people don't care enough about it as well. And it's like, I literally saw a TikTok the other day of a girl who was like, oh, my family is so proud of me. I graduated from Oxford, but I literally gave it my all and almost killed myself for this degree, because like she was working herself to the bone. Mental health is important and it matters, because what's the point of having a high school degree, a university degree, a master's, a postgraduate, if you are not happy enough to even be alive, So I think we need to stop putting emphasis on things that really in like the grand scheme of things don't matter as much. Like, yeah, it's important to get a degree. Yeah, it's important to go to school. But if someone is literally on the verge, is going to school and getting that degree really important? Or is what important is what no. Is it more important that this person feeling good about themselves, feeling okay, feeling like they can get up in the morning and go about their day, and things like that? And it's just, I don't know. I'm frustrated because even at the university level, you'll find people, admin, lecturers, students, who will frustrate your life and make it even more difficult than it needs to be, all in the name of, academia or this or that. Like, for what? We have literally experienced one of the most complex, mentally draining years, like 2020 and 2021, exhausting, like mentally exhausting and just grueling. And someone is there making your life difficult just for the fun of it. For what? Like, how wicked can you be? And these schools, they act like it's such a big deal, it's such an important deal. And yet, here in Kenya, some of our politicians don't even have high school degrees. So I think people need to start taking stock of what is actually important. Schooling and education, yes, it's important, but not at the expense of your life or your mental well-being, or even just liking yourself in general. Like, a lot of people my age genuinely feel like they're not succeeding in life, or they're not doing well in life because their grades are not where they want to be, or they didn't get this paper published, or this didn't happen. Like, really? We have really put so much stock in these things that have no actual value at the end of the day. Because, tell me, the way the pandemic hit, so many industries and so many businesses and so many people were affected. What was important at the end of the day? People who have degrees, doctorates, PhDs were being they were being laid off. So I think we need to really, as a society, really change the direction in which we want to go with how our society functions and what we consider important, of the utmost important, and what we don't. Because no one should have to kill themselves or, do something drastic because they're that upset by something like school. Like, really? School should not be this difficult. It should not be this, mentally draining and physically strenuous to the point where you come home at the end of the day and you literally cannot do anything else. It's not right. But yeah, those are my thoughts. But I think a lot of people need to really sit down and decide, like, what do I want out of my experience on this earth, Because it can't just be continuous suffering, And not just, I'm saying suffering, oh, you don't have money or this or that. Like, I'm saying suffering where you genuinely feel like you hate it here. And there are a lot of people who feel like that, and I think that's just a testament to how our quality of life has reduced so much, despite the fact that we're advancing at such a exponential rate in terms of like technology and things like that. But honestly, at the end of the day, it's up to you and what you decide. Because to be honest, for me, like, if I was to tell you guys my dream life, like, now, if money was not an obstacle, if life was not getting in the way, anything like that, like, my dream life would 1000%, I just want a house and a little farm with some chickens and some cows and like one horse, and I just want to grow fresh produce. I want to have a little house and just live in the middle of nowhere and grow my food and cook my food and just be peaceful and live a peaceful, calm life, not boggled down by the woes of capitalism. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, honestly, like, human beings we were never meant for this life. Like, it was never meant for life to be like this. We're supposed to be eating fruits and enjoying. But anyway, you know, this is the card we were dealt, so you might as well deal with it. Because what can I say, really? It's not like I can wake up one day and just decide I'm no longer going to participate in society, you know? In order to get that house in the middle of nowhere, like I actually have to work and put in efforts and things. But there's also something. I want older people like boomers, baby boomers, and millennials to stop saying that Gen Z don't want to work. Why would you, as a human being, want your experience to be bottled down to your career? Everything is just work, 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 work. Why? As a human being, you have decided that your worth and your value is only what you can contribute to society. You see, that doesn't sit right with me. And why should you work at a job or go to a school or be part of a society or an organization that causes you nothing but stress? You know, I saw a TikTok about how like, oh, Gen Z will literally quit because of this or that in a company. And I'm like, yeah, because why should you work at a company for 6, 7 years, 10 years, and you are genuinely unhappy? You wake up in the morning not wanting to go to work. Every time you think about work, it literally takes a piece of your soul. For what? Quit, get a new job. And I think we, as a generation, I hope we revolutionize, you know, the labor industry and just the working market in itself, because there's a lot of unhealthy work practices and stuff. Like something like virtual school, for some people, you know, they really enjoyed it. I was one of those people. But for others, they were like, no, we want to go back to school physically. But tell me, now that we're back to school physically, what is different? Because the same people who are saying these things are the same people who are still on their phone, reading books, going through TikTok, going through Instagram, going through Twitter in class, the same we were doing at home. As in, there's no difference between how we were learning at home and how we were learning in person. The lecturer still puts the slides, still reads from the slides. The lecture is still the same. Like, there's no difference. And I feel like also, like a lot of people don't want to physically go back to the office and go back to school because we actually had lives. People were actually doing things that made them happy during the free time that we had, you know, when you're either working from home or going to school from home, online. And now that everyone is back in the office or back in school, people are back to being unhappy. Because you can't even continue with the hobbies and the businesses and stuff, because now offices and schools are like, now everybody has to come back, we have to resume. You're telling me you thought life back then was good? How did it feel when you were working online, when you were going to school online? As in, you could wake up in the morning, be finished with school by the afternoon, go out, just genuinely do what you wanted to do with your time as an individual, instead of being run by institutions and companies and things. But anyway, we shall see how society progresses. It's gonna be very, very, very interesting to watch. So now I'm just going to cook my rice and my potatoes, and I think I'll just show like a time lapse or something, because it's just rice and potatoes, nothing important.